Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Just getting the screens right on my side. Yeah, that's better. And it is a half an hour earlier than usual because Frank is going live at 9 p.m. on Rumble only. So just giving this the half an hour in between to cool down from ending this at 8:30 and then hopping over to uh well, you don't have a choice. I mean, it might be on Pilled also, but it says Rumble only on quite frankly.tv, so I use the Rumble app on my TV just to watch it. And then I will be in the Twitch chat room for Frank. So, like right now, I'm live just on YouTube. I do have my Twitch chat room open, Nikki M. Carlin. But at 9 p.m., we'll be using the quite frankly live on Twitch chat room. So not the same Twitch chat room if you're on Twitch right now. And what's up to You Are Done Too? And we owe you Bill Cooper over on Twitch. How's it going? And smash the like button. It helps out the channel. And make sure you are subscribed also. I'm doing better than most channels. It seems like whenever anybody brings up because YouTube shows you how many people watch your channel who are subscribed versus who are not. A lot of other channels, it's like maybe like 90% are not subscribed, maybe 80% are not subscribed. I do a little bit better than that. I've got about 76% not subscribed, so that's a little bit better than most. So thanks for being subscribed if you are. Oh man, it's just too humid. It was cool last night, and then it just quickly warmed up today, and then we got rain, so it cooled down a bit. Then got humid again, and it's like staying right at like 85 Fahrenheit in the room, including humidity. Very unpleasant. Plus, I woke up early dealing with some bullshit. So I've been exhausted. I wanted to watch my last show. I watched the episode with the two-parter. Um, haven't seen the last episode yet. I just could not keep my eyes open for anything. So I'm only behind on one episode. And when I plugged the camera in today, it was acting funny. So I've had to restart this thing 3 or 4 times. Hopefully it lets me get through a 2-hour show. I don't have it do much. This is the only time I'm not filming anything else additional at this time. So whenever I'm live, that's the only time this camera gets used. So I don't understand. I'm sorry I shined a light at it the other day. I think that's why it glitched out, but it's not like it's getting used doing other stuff. This is its only job right now, so I don't understand why it acts this way. It doesn't like the heat either, I guess. And then going live a half an hour earlier messes me up. So I'm like, oh, energy drink. So I started sipping on that, and had less than an hour to go. So I'm like, this is really, I'm not going to be feeling this. And what's the point of having energy when it's hot out? Because all you're going to do is sweat. So it's like, what's the damn point? What's up, John Rogers? Glad you made it. How you doing from last week? I assume your head's feeling, was better after that weekend. Folks were worried. Oh, and from what Frank was saying at the Friday show, his show tonight, it sounds like anybody who he just couldn't get anybody else to come in on a Saturday, so why leave the house? So I guess he's just gonna be going live from Studio B for maybe an hour. Who knows? I don't know what he's gonna pull up for us, and just sort of just keep it loose and chill over there. William Bill Cooper said, Keck, maybe it is the heat affecting the camera. It's gotta be, because it's not like everything's like, say, like wadded up and sitting in the corner all week and then I pull it out. So it's take care of my electronics. It's just the heat. I don't use air conditioning. So I'm just careful about, I've had the fan on, but it's mostly to just, keep the air circulating and then blowing it out the window. So it's, It helps to have the air move if you are not lowering the temperature. I don't even want to know how much it would cost to run the AC for even one day. I didn't know. I like seeing my electric bill under $100 for a few months. Uh, I want to start out with this. I found this out an hour ago, like an hour and 10 minutes ago. Where was I even at? Because I don't know why it is, but the recommendations I get on YouTube on the TV are different than the recommendations I get on the app. So it just wildly skewed, like it's two different accounts, even though it's not. Oh, John Rogers, he says I got the fence up and partially painted today. Oh, cool, painting's fun. I did the side facing the road. Yeah, yeah, make it look nice for the people driving by, and then you can get the inside later. That's good. Maybe I was on my phone. I'm just scrolling away, and I do follow Madonna on YouTube. She hasn't put out an album since 20, an album with new songs since 2019. She's done stuff since then. So I get the notifications, but it's not like a lot of stuff's coming up. So they did that epic remix of Like a Prayer. It is epic. That is incredible. Holy shit. And then they re-released, they acted like it was brand new. They released a remix of Like a Prayer. It's literally from the You Can Dance album from 1987. It was red. I remember that. I had that CD, so I'm like, this is not a new remix. It's cute to hear it again, but it's like I was jamming to this in the 80s. Come on now. Um, so nothing new is really, coming up from that channel. But there was a song on there. It was called Gone, Gone, Gone. And I know that as it's either a B-side or just an unreleased track from the Ray of Light era. Ray of Light is her best album. She's had other great albums, but that whole Ray of Light era is where it's at. So I listened to it. It's like a remixed, unreleased, demo version of it. I listened to it. It's nice. I like the song anyway. I can see why it didn't make it onto the album, but it's still a good song. You can tell what era it's from. So there that was like it's been up for a few days. Listened to it yesterday maybe. Okay, that's fine. So today I see something, and it's not even from the Madonna channel, but it's Ray of Light era looking, and something about Veronica Electronica announcement. Now, in Ray of Light, her, when artists do an album, they kind of take on a persona. During Ray of Light, that was her. You saw Frozen the music video. That's her Veronica Electronica persona in 1998. So the fact that an album is called that, right away I'm thinking the Ray of Light era, and so it has my attention. But I'm like, this could be something for, YouTube's 20 years old. I could be watching something that, somebody, like, they uploaded it today, but it's from 25 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. But I click on it, and I'm seeing 2025. Like, wait, hold on, what? Something about this album coming out later in July. So I'm like, hold on. Let me just back up. Go to the Brave app, search it up, see what comes up. So it's a real thing. Long story short, it comes out July 25th. I want to say it's 8 tracks that are remixes from Ray of Light. I guess they've never been released before. I don't know every single remix from that album. If it's something I've heard, back in the day, I'm gonna recognize it. But as far as I know, it's all new remixes of songs from Ray of Light. Just 8 tracks. It was a 13-track album, so just 8 tracks. Comes out in less than 2 weeks. It's I guess it's a digital. The only physical copy you can get is a vinyl album. I believe it's going to be silver, so I'm not going that far into it. But I'm looking forward to hearing those remixes. She did one for Skin. That one is out. I listened to that earlier. I like that song, so I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's Madonna's an artist that I have not listened to as many remixes of her songs as I have Lady Gaga, and maybe it's just because it's different eras. There are some amazing Madonna remixes. I'm not saying that there are not, but just on the whole, I've heard more, say, remixes of, Disease or, Bad Romance versus even Frozen, and I love that song, Frozen. Um, but it's gonna be Drowned World, Substitute for Love, Ray of Light, Skin, which I already heard, Nothing Really Matters, Sky Fits Heaven, Frozen, Power of Goodbye, The Power of Goodbye, I should say, and Gone, 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 which I've already mentioned. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to that. I didn't know. Nobody told me. I thought after Gaga dropped Mayhem that was it, but there's more remixes to look forward to in a couple of weeks. So wow, I was, especially how today's going, I was not expecting any good news. William Bill Cooper says, my partner, she enjoys Madonna's music. I will give her a heads up on that. Yeah, let her know the Ray of Light era. If she likes anything from that, that's what it's from. And then, of course, all of the promotional artwork for it. The cover for the album is from 1998. That's not how she looks now. Those are older photos. Which is fine by me. It's totally fine by me. I live for that era. That covered, the album came out in something like February of 98, and then the music did not come out until September 19th of 2020. So basically all of 98 and 99 and most of 2000, I was bumping Ray of Light hard. And after that, because at the time I was not feeling the music album, like the artwork for it. It just felt like it was like just a throwaway. It kind of felt cheap, but like shut me up, because that has, I always forget this. Music has what it feels like for a girl, and I say that because it feels like it belongs on the next album, American Life. And that still fucks me up to this day. Like, wait, this song came out in 2000. It's not on Ray of Light, or it's not on American Life. What? So it's ahead of it. So it has other good songs. It has Gone, just Gone once, totally different song. Love that. So yeah, I just found that out. I didn't know. I did. YouTube is supposed to recommend that stuff to me. I'm not supposed to just casually find that out when I really shouldn't be on my phone before I go live. But I found that out. So that's the thing. It's a Friday. Um, let's see. Frank will be doing a show, but then I'll be doing, then Frank, okay, so I'll just probably end up staying up way late that night till midnight for it all to drop, and then just listen to all those. That's fine. That's cool. That's what you do with albums. That's what I did with Keto Brains. I had my Keto Brains had just showed up, my first bag, and I had 3 cups of coffee with a scoop of Keto Brains each. And I was good till 4 a.m. And I'm usually never up till 4 a.m. But I was fine. I was like, I should go to bed. It's 4 a.m. Bro, that gone, was it? No, Skin. Bro, it goes so fucking hard. It went hard on the TV. It's gonna go hard in the car. Bro, I cannot wait to play that in the car. That was awesome. Let me get into the week. I wrote down a lot of notes. A lot of little things happened this week, and then just as things are occurring to me to talk about them on the show rather than put them separately, I'm just putting them in with my notes as I'm like watching, quite frankly, so it's all just together. Now today is July 12th, and we're gonna go all the way back to July 7th, whenever that was. I guess it was a Monday, because that's what I wrote down. I gotta be so careful with this because It practically doesn't stay in the tube. If that little hole at the top was bigger, the stuff would just pour out like a cup. I really don't want to get Carmex on everything. Not sponsored. I'll bring this up now then. Yeah, fuck the heat. I used to like the heat because I hated the winter because it gives me back spasms. But no, fuck the heat too. Fuck winter and fuck summer because it's just like being depressed, but you're sweating all the time. You can't get anything done. You can only think about how hot you are and all the extra stuff you got to do just to take care of yourself because it's hot out, which means eating more. I don't want to eat more. I need to eat less. I need to lose weight. Can't really do that when you have to have food in you to drink liquids so you're not running to the bathroom every half an hour. So I can't diet. You can't even sleep the way I want with all the blankets on me. You got to worry about that and get the fan and the airflow just right. And then everything it's sticky. You clean everything and it's just sticky. And then you got to drink even more water and more liquids. And it's not fun. I can't do anything I want to do. I would rather have to sit and light candles and put on extra layers of clothing and look like Maggie Simpson in the star suit than have to just know it's just hot and it's just like as clean as my hair is and it's as expensive. What's up, Erica? Glad you made it. Yeah, too bloody hot. As expensive as a shampoo and conditioner is, and as clean as my hair is, I go to put it up, and it feels like it's like been dirty for days, and it's not. It could not be cleaner, but it's just touching it and putting it up, and then it pulls in such a way as if it was dirty, and it's not. It's clean, so it gets lumpy. So that's just more to worry about. And then I can't wear my hat, so I don't feel like myself. And here's more bad news. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. I don't even think I wrote this down, but I've told you before that I've gotten into watching some folks play Minecraft. And the one guy I like is Puff because he's kind of unhinged. He just had his birthday. And I mentioned before when he gets a donation, he brings a cowbell. I guess he made the cowbell, so he's proud of it. So good for him. But now what he does when he goes live is he mentioned he ordered a flute, but it got there and it's a slide whistle. So I now I can't watch his when he goes live. I just have to wait for him to upload something else. So there's just that was nice while it lasted. I think I just got through his channel too. He hasn't really been uploading that long, so I watched everything that's a half an hour or more. That was fast. Monday, the 7th. I wrote down it rained. So that's good. Anytime it rains, good. It needs to rain every day when it's like this. This is unacceptable. I don't know where the hell Frank was because the show started and there was this dude sitting there, no hat whatsoever, just headphones and a shirt and a microphone. So I'm like, who is this hatless bastard? Get Frank. So that was weird as hell right off the bat. Oh, we talked about a lot of stuff. We were talking about doctors at one point, probably hospitals, something like that. And I mentioned doctors are just lazy serial killers because if you think about it, a serial killer has to go out and get their victims, whereas a doctor, you just sit and wait, and then you just pick one, and you don't have to go anywhere. They come to you, and then they pay you for it. Not all doctors, but we know some. Maybe not personally, but we've heard about them. John Rogers said the rain stopped me today. Now it's humid. Yeah, it was because at one point it got really windy and really breezy. I thought it was gonna rain, but it got lighter out, so I'm like, okay. But then it did rain, so it's like, cool, do this for a while. And it did it for a while, but then it stopped, and the humidity came back on, then the sun came out. So we're getting like the Florida thing. It rains long enough to piss off the sun. We're supposed to get rain tomorrow. It's the hottest of the day I go live. It's the hottest day of the week. It's maybe 90. I think they said it's supposed to get up to 33 Celsius, which is about 90 or 91. We looked out though. I wrote down 1945, so 7:45. Frank picks up the phone, or he's taking calls, and Frank Zell called in. So it's like, oh my God, Frank Zell! And then Frank's like, wait, hold on, let me get my brother on the line. So then he has Jim Zell on the line. So holy shit, we had them both. So I was like, hell yeah, I was ready. I was already having a good time. Then that happened. Hell yeah, I was there for it. That was so cool. I just wish Frank Zell didn't sound like they both kind of sound like they're talking from a phone booth. Just that the phone. I wish it was clearer. We can understand them. I just wish the audio was clearer. Real you, Bill Cooper. Yeah, medical license to kill. Yep. And a surgeon is just a butcher in a lab coat. So they were talking about, I don't even really know. We were having such a good time and just like, oh my God, it's the cells. I wonder if Jim had Twizzlers. We couldn't hear anything. He had the TV on in the background, but he shut it off. And then folks kind of get into, sometimes people like try to like point fingers at, the thing started with just this generation. It wouldn't be this bad if that generation didn't do this. And, all that kind of, blaming type of stuff. So I said, we didn't start this problem, but we can start to fix it. So we don't need to play the blame game. Just stop it. Did you ever see that sketch? I want to say it was Mad TV. And it was Mo Collins. She goes to see her therapist. And it's this guy sitting there. And I swear, like, he must be like an old school comedian. And his name escapes me right now. I didn't know who it was at the time. He was just some, older gentleman. And she's kind of nervous, and she's like, oh well, you were recommended to me by such and such, and he's like, well, just tell me what your problems are, we'll see what we can do. And she's like, oh well, I've been biting my nails. He's like, well, we'll stop it. It's like, oh, okay, well sometimes when I go into a room I have to switch the light on and off 15 times. And he's like, just stop it. Like, oh, okay, but well, sometimes I have to clean my kitchen for 3 hours straight, until he's like, just stop it. Basically, everything she was doing, his advice was just to stop it. And I know it's a comedy sketch, but I think about that sometimes. It's like if things are just continuing in a way that you don't like, just stop it. I mean, like maybe you don't have to like sit like quit your job and like move to a different house, but you just maybe take a minute and just stop. Realize what you're doing, and then course correct. That's kind of my mentality too. I don't care who started it, I'm finishing it. And I'll make sure the exact situation doesn't happen again. Will you, Bill Cooper, more clear when the Zells call would be great. That's why I like when they were on the True Crime podcast a couple of Decembers ago. Their audio was never clearer. You've never heard their voices come through so clearly. And that's great. And you want to be happy about it. But at the same time, you're hearing about like the sickest, most perverted stuff people have done to children. And it's like, it's so bittersweet. I've gotten a playlist on my channel. It's just the Zells playlist. And I don't think I brought this up, but I've been looking at this for a few months. Just on and off. I'll tap in there just to see. Because it tells you how many, if somebody watches something in the playlist, it counts as a view. It doesn't count towards my channel. It just counts towards the playlist. Oh, what's up, Lisa Gray? Glad you made it. But right now, the Zells playlist has 1,833 views. That's not me. I watch this stuff separately, and like, okay, maybe a few of them are mine. But I did not start this playlist until like they were doing the Miss Shorty thing. So most of those views are not mine. So somehow, some way, either people are going to my channel or just searching the Zells, and they come up and they're watching these. And that number, it was like 1,700 a month or so ago. So it's steadily going up. Oh, NT, glad you made it. Is it Nikki K in the house? Yep. So folks are checking out the Zells, and they were on for a minute. They were on for maybe until 8:25. I'm not exactly sure about the time, but like they was talking, like they talked through intermission. It had to have been a half an hour, maybe longer. It was great. I was having such a good time. But one thing I noticed what they do, it's kind of a Pisces thing where they sort of seem to have this mentality like a been there, done that. So whenever they're sitting back and talking about a situation, it's as if they have all of the information surrounding it, and they can see where people are making mistakes, and they kind of mention that as they're relaying the story to us. What's up, Russell? Glad you made it. And what I noticed they do, like Frank Zell's talking about some guy, I don't know what, and he does, these things wrong and ends up getting killed. And Frank kind of, the dude got himself killed, kind of a thing, kind of has a little bit of a chuckle in his voice. What's up, Dandy? Glad you made it. And it happened twice, so I had to say something. I'm like, like the Zells laugh after mentioning somebody gets shot or murdered. But it's not in a like, haha, they got killed kind of way, like you're playing video games. It's like I told them, but did they listen? No. And what happened? Now you're full of holes. So it's not like, like they're happy somebody got hurt. They're not, like wishing death on anybody. And it's not a nervous laughter thing. It's more of a like, I told you so kind of a laughter. So like that's what that was coming from. And at some point I'm like, okay, Frank would love this conversation. Bring him on because who's this dude here with no hat? And then Scott Ian said, Frank's not here, man. He wasn't. It was just this guy and he didn't have a hat. I didn't know what to do. But then it got even better because I wrote down 2044, so 8:44 p. It was like the last 45 minutes of the show. Oh, what's up, Zora? Glad you made it. Something about an Incredible Hulk clip. Jim Lee called in, so we got to hear from the Zells and Jim Lee in one night. I was having the best time at the Monday show. Could not believe my luck. I can't remember the rest of the day right now, but I was having such a good time at the show. It doesn't matter. NT says Nikki is the note queen. Yeah, I do take my notes because I can't remember anything. But Monday was just so much fun, just having the Zells on talking and just whatever we were doing in the chat room, just the whole thing. It's you can't even stop to write anything down because of just the way things are flowing and people coming in and oh, when was that? Yeah, good stuff. I haven't drunk a lot of water today because I was too tired to make food, so I'm hella thirsty now. Monday. Yeah, that was Monday. So Tuesday the 8th, Frank was finally in. The guy with the hat, he was there. Oh, you are at the right channel of Nikki M. Carlin top hat. It's just too hot to wear. But now what Frank does, he has his mug there, his quite frankly mug, like the bash somebody in the head mug thing. I'm so afraid to, like, I realize I've got too much head space, but I'm so afraid to move the camera. I'll just try to, like, who was the dude who was on the Show Me What You Got with his head all up, and that was later in the week anyway. But yeah, Frank's got his quite frankly mug, and then he's got a clear cup, almost filled to the top with air quotes drink water. It's so bad he's drinking on the show. I mean, it could be vodka, it could be tequila. Personally, I would go with clear rum. It actually gin. If I'm gonna drink something clear. Okay, so yesterday, not yesterday, but on the Monday show, we were talking about how volcanoes are just emo mountains. Like you want some attention for standing there. What's your problem? So I guess Mount Rainier heard us because then Frank was talking about there were reports of it not erupting, but maybe some tremors, maybe like some little earthquakes, something like that. So it must have heard us talking shit about volcanoes the day before. But somebody who lives up that way said that there was no like rumbling or shaking or nothing, so that was bullshit. So I'm like, yeah, yeah, it's they just made that up. For intermission. Since we didn't get an intermission at the Monday show because the Zells were talking, which is fine. But the Tuesday show for intermission, Michael said that dancing chick is hot. Uh, all right, okay. So Frank said this. So I guess this will be starting this Wednesday coming up. Every other Wednesday, he's gonna start playing the drums on Pilled. I I believe he said after the show, so just he goes into the other room, plays the drums. Um, I don't know for how long. It's kind of what he used to do because for a while there, not regularly, but every maybe like once a week before the show, he'd play the drums for a little bit, and then he would get on and do the show. But this is, I guess it's for everybody. That's why I said it on the Quite Frankly show. That's going to be just a extra thing to do on Wednesdays after the shows, which is it's cool. It's fun to be in the chat room, and all we're doing is like play Tool, and Frank's like, I can't play Tool, it's copyright, and like everything we suggest he can't play because it's copyright. But that doesn't stop us from suggesting it. So for the whole time he'll be on for 20 minutes, and the whole time people are requesting Tool songs. Like, I don't know, he really should play sober. Dill, what's up? Glad you made it. um I want him to play some Britney Spears. Okay, and then also, that's what's going to be going out the Saturday shows. Not this Saturday, but I believe starting in August, he wants to make these changes in August. But instead of going live only on Rumble, because he's not happy with them, it's going to be a pilled only thing. So again, use the chat room on Twitch. Link to that is in the description for this show. Uh, I've heard you can email Pilled and ask them to, hey, can you look into a way to turning off all of the animations? I'll have to send them that email. I don't think that's going to happen, but I can still send an email. I'm used to sending emails and not hearing anything back. So yeah, that's something Frank's going to start doing. That'll be fun. It's cool to just chill out with some tunes after the show, just wind down. Maybe not everybody can show up, so it might be a smaller room. John Rogers said he did it on D Live this week. Okay, yeah, somebody mentioned he was on D Live. I mean, I know his account is. I just meant he was doing something else. And he said, "Oh, if this is a challenge, then we could have some fun with what Frank has to play." So how do we make sure he will play what we say though? Because before how we would do it, we would just he would have the chat room open, and he would just see us talking, and he didn't have audio at first, so he would be like shaking his head or like looking at the camera like stuff like that. But he did get a microphone set up in there so he can like talk to us and all. But it would mostly be like, hey guys, what songs do you want to hear? And everybody's putting in their suggestions and like Never Gonna Give You Up and stuff like that. So that's how he did it before. Granted that was over 5 years ago. I don't know if he still does it the same way. I don't know if he has people like super chat requests. That seems like a little bit much. Just checking the battery. Um, it'll be fun to just like show up and see how he's doing it now. And then if he's not, and T should be like, no, I don't like that idea. You should just take all of my suggestions. Okay, play this song, and then no. And he said, so we have to be in chat to keep calling him out then. Challenge accepted. That sounds like how it would go. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. He'll be, actually, I see the problem now. I'm glad you brought that up. At least for myself, not for you. Because if he's playing drums on Pill, then I can't use the Pill chat room. Ooh, that's a problem. I'm going to have to email Pill. Email. I'm going to write it up here. Email Pill. Because if I can't, because I would just go to the chat room on Twitch, but if nobody's looking in there, what's the point? And if there's nobody to talk to, there's no reason for me to go to the show. So I would just be shutting off my laptop at 9 like a regular night. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a more work for me. But yeah, I do have to email Pill anyway. Apparently, Frank is friends with the guy who runs that place. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm totally glad I brought that up. Drum solo from Inagata Davida. Yeah, Dill, yeah. I do want Frank to do a drum version of Lady Gaga's How Bad Do You Want Me? I could see that. I could see him playing that in my head so clearly. The first time I played that song in the car, that's one of the only things. I mean, I could see to drive, but the only thing, other thing I could see is just like Frank, drumming to that. Dill said, I had trouble getting on Pilled. I have to try again. Yeah, Pilled will fight you tooth and nail. Hopefully you just have one screen name there and you'll avoid the hassle I have to go through. But if it's giving you a hard time, this is what I'm probably going to have to do. Just like completely sign out and just sign back in. One thing I will say about Pilled, as much as I don't like them, if you do have a problem and email them about it, they will get back to you like within a few hours, like that day. So that they do have a good. I shouldn't have to send emails to change my handle, but that's the way they do it there. And after 3 emails, they got it right. So they did help me with that. So if you do have any technical difficulties, do shoot them an email. They will get back to you. I just got to see if they'll get rid of the animations so people who are visually impaired can use their website. So it would be nice to not, have like a place I can stop talking shit about. And T said, glad I could help, but I have a bright height for Frank. I need to see some Def Leppard with only one arm. Get it done, Frank. What, is he just supposed to play like left-handed and do everything like with his offhand, or does he get to do it right-handed because he's righty? Okay. Frank mentioned that back on 7707, so July 7th of 2007, he was in New York. There was a YouTube event, and YouTube was 2 years old at the time. But he said that there was a dude there, like he was a big guy, but he had a backpack on, all these electronics in there. Frank's like, hey man, what are you doing? How's it going? What's with all the equipment? And he was just streaming. He had his own channel or something like that. And he said one thing, but then he also said something about like being on Ustream. So after that, Frank went home to look up Ustream, and that's where I found the show in 2015. So like I guess that's when he found out about Ustream and started doing his thing from there. John Rogers, I only use it for listening, not chatting. Yep. I mean, I've got my TV set up to go to the browser app, and it's just set on quite frankly.tv all of the time, so I can just go to, and then quite frankly TV just has the pilled feed there, so I just, worst case scenario, I'll watch it, just the video on the TV, but then for the chat room I'll use the Twitch chat room because I can't use pilled chat room. It's bots and animations and 7 lines of text. Oh man, it's similar to looking inside of a Zoomer chat room. It's actually worse than because I've been to Puff's live shows, and those like kids watch those channels. They don't swear on. There was this drama going on in this one episode. It was like a couple hours long, but I guess this kid was watching, and he's like, I've got to be quiet because I got in trouble because I was watching your videos and you said a cuss words, so I got grounded, but I still want to watch. And then later on, the kid's like, half hour goes by, and he's like, "Oh no, my mom found me watching. I've got to go. Good night." And then maybe 20 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, I'm back. My mom said it's okay if I watch." And then maybe another 20 minutes later, it's like, "This is the mom. I like your channel. It was just, thanks for cleaning up your language. It's okay if he watches, something like that." So through the course of this whole video, we got this whole side drama going on with some kid. It was cute. I forgot my point. Something about not swearing. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi, bitch left Satan. What's up? Glad you made it. Yeah, it's Zoomer children are more well behaved in chat rooms than folks on, quite frankly's pilled chat room. That's the point I was making. Oh, something about Leo Zagami almost killed a guy. What? Did I hear that right? I didn't write down a time, but I would believe it. I did just Italian. He could get away with it, but like I wouldn't put it past him. Like I'm not 100% surprised, but just low key, like this is the first time we're hearing about this. Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Please don't freeze. Don't give me any lag. Thank you. Uh, I've got the fan blowing on the charger and not myself. Um, Trying to get aiming at the fan. It is what it is. Okay, what else happened? Oh yeah, Frank was mentioning folks that are sort of guaranteed to show up for September 6th. NT said, "You just made me look up what a Zoomer is. Does not apply to me, but now I know." Haha. Yeah, that's just folks born 2000 for about 20 years. And then before that is it's Generation Y, but they're also called Millennial. I kind of like that there's two names for it. The same way there's I differentiate between Boomer and Baby Boomer. It covers the same amount of time, but a Boomer is say like is somebody of that generation, say who watches quite frankly, who is based, versus a Baby Boomer who is probably complaining about Israel on Twitter or cut off their dick or their tits or something like that. So, if you want to piss off somebody in Generation Y, like Frank or Dilly, call them a millennial. I guess it pisses them off so bad. And if you're getting mad at the name for your generation, you're not old enough to be online. And it's mostly older folks that get upset about that kind of thing. Younger folks take it in their stride. Older folks, well, a boomer like me, just not reading the rest of that. But for the 6th, Frank was saying, Dill said I'm a base boomer. Hell yeah. If you were born before 1964 and you watch, quite frankly, you're based. And to youngness, what do they know anyway? Like young folks know some stuff. They've got like gaps in their knowledge. It's just maybe they only had one parent, so it's not their fault, but some of them, like there are base Zoomers out there. There are some younger folks who watch. Quite frankly, like they're like just out of high school and they watch the show. So it's not I mean, of course, on the whole, you're gonna get more folks of a certain age watching the show. Like when I started, I was the oldest person around, and I was in my early 30s. Jump ahead, and then for a while it seemed like I was the youngest person in the room, and then now we've got again we've got Zoomers, people let their kids listen in. They probably shouldn't because of the language, but they let their kids listen in. I didn't write down everybody. I was just trying to write down just real quick, but like guaranteed to be there for the 6th. Frank mentioned Top Lobster and Raven, and Tony Black, Matt McCat. Jupiter Gulanello, of course, he's going to be there. That's in the thing on his website. Sal is going to be there. The guy from the Friday show, the butcher. I guess he's the one providing the steaks. He's going to be there. And T said, "You know how long I've waited to be the old man on the porch to yell at young kids and say, 'Back in my day'? I really can't wait." You can do that online sooner. The more time you put it online, and you can do it to older people too, because like the time you spend online, it's separate from your age in real life. So if you've spent 20 years online, I mean you're practically 60 in internet years. John Rogers said, "I think Gen Z is more based than people think." I think Gen Z like has more. They don't know they want to be based. It's like when those kids came in that Frank coached for, and they're in their early 20s and they're not into movies. That makes sense because movies now suck. They want to watch movies, they just don't have current movies. They don't know, like, they need to get into the older stuff to be into movies. Like, it's sad that they don't have current things to get into, that they have to go to older stuff to get the same level of entertainment. But they're tuned into that. That's what kind of blows my mind. Like I figured out he was 22, and then he just had his birthday and he said he was 23. I already figured that out. But this guy knows like Frank Sinatra. He knows classical music. Why? How? Who taught you that? Like you're just out of college. How do you know this stuff? So like they like it. Even Generation Y, like younger generation, like folks born in the 90s, we're still the same generation. But when I was meeting those folks at Anthony Vincent Music, they're all into 80s music, like metal and stuff like that, rock and roll, maybe 80s pop, but like current stuff, yeah, they listened to it, but they were more about like 80s stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't really into the 80s music in the 80s, but you guys are. It's crazy that it's nice to see. And he had no better in person is better, a stronger mental effect than keyboard warriors. You can start pulling. I was in my 30s and I was already pulling the back in my day stuff, but I don't know, I'm just kind of end up being around younger folks, I guess. If your birthday's in January, it's hard for anybody to be older than you and born in the same year. So Dale says my son is Generation Y based. Nice. Why us? Why do we got to do this shit? Uh, yeah. So those folks are guaranteed so far to be at the meetup. I guess these are folks who've already like confirmed with Frank that like, yeah, I'll be there. But Frank was gonna call Molly from Keto Brains for the like to find out who won the giveaway that they announced the week prior. And Frank goes to call her up, and it's the like the person you're dialing cannot be reached. Please leave a voicemail at. And I was like, damn, she's ducking your ass. So Shane says, ghosted. But Frank finally got through, and they announced the winner, so that was cool. Um, they mentioned how there's folks. I guess Keto Brains can only ship in the United States. Like they can't ship even up to Canada. People in Europe and Australia that they're just kind of shit out of luck. But I guess she does just here, maybe in this year, they've worked with some group. I guess it's called Super States. I might be wrong about that, but it's for the European customers. And something about use uh, promo code Frankly to save money. Something like maybe you save on your shipping. So I would hope that would help out. I might be remembering that wrong. It was at the end of the Tuesday show, so forgive me if I'm not 100% on that. NT, I was old when I was young, still loving it. I was like more of like the cautious, shy type when I was younger, and then older, I try not to plan ahead, and I'm just like like fuck it, and I don't want to embarrass myself, but I care less about it. Like, hey, we all do embarrassing shit, man. I don't know what to tell you. Laugh it off. I did notice this. I noticed this at my last job. This was not on Quite Frankly or anything, but illegals, like people who do not speak English for a first language, and they probably shouldn't be here anyway. They always repeat themselves. I was trying to figure out why my job was so frustrating. Like, yeah, it sucked that half of the customers did not speak English because they shouldn't be here. But I noticed what they do. They didn't know what they were doing, first of all. And I was in finances. But they repeat every single thing. You ask them a question, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, uh-huh, uh-huh. No, 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 no. It's I don't want to hear your if you have to repeat yourself that much and English is not your first language, your voice is going to come off very annoying very quickly. So the last thing we want to hear is hear it more. And the thing is, if you studied enough English, you would know people who are comfortable speaking English, like say people who are from here and didn't break in, we don't repeat everything twice. People do like have a tendency to like tell a story and then tell the exact same story again, but they don't repeat like the same line over and over again every single time they're asked a question and then wonder why people get annoyed with your ass. You don't know the language. You're just repeating sounds. That Wednesday? No, Wednesday. Hold on. Tuesday. Maybe this is when it was. Wednesday show. That's when R.J. Williams was on, the light bulb eating, bank robbing magician. And yeah, see, you learned. Yeah, I just saw well, everything just kind of when my friend died 10 years ago, I changed, so I was not like this before. See, I thought RJ was atheist and he was going to come on to discuss the Bible. Apparently, he was atheist before, read the Bible 3 times, and now he's, I don't know, Christian, whatever. Uh, if I would have caught that at the time, like, what made him a believer? Like, what line of the Bible? What convinced him? I don't know if Frank asked that question. That would have been the question to ask. I don't think that came up. Uh, oh, yeah. And then Frank did ask RJ, like, hey, if there's any way you can get out here for the event, it'd be so cool, all that kind of a thing. That would be awesome. Well, Frank mentioned this. I don't remember exactly what he was talking about, but it's something about light without heat. Something to do with religion. And that made me stop because I had an event like that happen to me, not this February, but the February before when I was just trying to decide whether or not to, quit my job and all that kind of a thing. And just, I don't want to say too much about what happened because it's kind of a spiritual, but that's never happened to me before. But I was lying in bed. It was daytime. I was sober. And I had that sensation. It felt like as if the light was liquid because I was lying down. It was above me. It felt like it was just pouring right into me. but it was light that you could look at without hurting your eyes, but no heat, just light. I know exactly what he's talking about when he brought that up. Is this the part here? I think it is. Frank mentioned that he's these doomers get so dramatic, talking about how, oh, it feels like the Earth dies every 4 years, and RJ's like, oh, sounds like you're a little bit too tied into the election cycle, but something like that in those words. So RJ kind of sees Frank's being a little bit too dramatic about this, but yeah, it's almost like the world dies every 4 years. Whatever the hell Frank was talking about. And he was saying how there's just so much, like bad in the world and very little good. And then he said he studies evil. Like, well, I don't know if you really shouldn't have to study evil if it doesn't come to you naturally. What you shouldn't be messing around with it. I was just thinking it's such a sad day. It's such a sad thing to see a guy. There's Frank with his passive income and his family. Ed has no worries about the future. He can't see the good in the world. Whereas I'm suicidally depressed and I can see more good in the world than he can. So, like, who's got the more fucked up perspective? Very little. Like, I think there's more good. I know there's more good in the world than bad. I don't understand why he can't see that. It's because he watches too much news, but it's sad to see a guy who has so much and he's just not appreciating it. Like, do you know how much worse it could be? And you don't see the good in the world? You don't see those people around you? And to, yeah, go back and listen to George Carlin on Save the Planet bit for these folks. Yeah, boom. Yeah, the planet's fine. The people are fucked. I haven't seen that in a while. I want something like that. And then I see in his schedule coming up, he's got some dude coming on and something about studying evil. And it's like please tell me you have to study all this stuff because it comes naturally to me. So tell me what you had to learn in a book. That's going to be fun to listen to. uh, RJ had, I don't, did he have a beard last time? He was only on a couple of months ago, but dude has this full on, he looks like he's playing a stereotypical New York cabbie from the 90s, but I'm pretty sure he's in California. I'm like, yeah, he stole the beer just for this interview. But then I realized what he's doing. He wants to be a biblically accurate Jesus for Christmas. So he's got a few months. He's growing out the beard. He's got like the dark hair. I don't know if it's long, but his beard is long. Like you can't see his neck at all. Maybe it was a disguise for the show. But that was a really good episode, and it wasn't even done because we had to go to morning sickness mat afterwards. And T said, "I love this girl." Oh, thank you. John Rogers never saw it. Yeah, George Carlin has a lot of good stuff out there. I don't even know where to start. I mean, has he ever done anything bad? I don't know. I would just say to Google George Carlin and just click on the first thing that comes up. Like I don't know the 7 dirty words. That's something I just never memorized. I'm sure it's stuff you can say today that's it's so commonplace there might not even be swears. But again, I don't know them. I never learned them. Um, I do like what he has to say about stuff. How you get your house and you fill it with stuff, and then you have to get a bigger house because you have more stuff. And you got to put your stuff somewhere. Then you go on vacation and you take some stuff with you. Then you might go somewhere else. Then you have to take some more stuff with you, but less stuff. Apparently, George Carlin did a stand-up that came out like the week of September 11th, and it was a little bit darker than his usual thing, and I think just because of the subject material was too close to the events happening at the time, so either it didn't do well or it just was just kind of swept under the rug, the way a lot of like movies and things were just forgotten around that time because everybody was too busy watching the TV. So we go over to morning sickness Matt Christensen. Hat on, can't watch the show because he's got to have it. It's very slow. It is very slow moving background. I will give him that. But the thing is, we've all been in a chat room for 2 hours at that point, so I can't deal with any extra movement. And on top of that, he'll keep an article up on the screen the entire time Frank is on, and that article is in white mode. So I can't see anything. I know the man doesn't have a lava lamp, and he always wears lipstick. He's okay. He's okay. I like MS Map. So we go over there, and I noticed that way back on his wall, he's got just two little lights. But that he's got his microphone in front of him, and directly, like as if there's a light shining down from the ceiling, it's like an orange light that's hitting his black microphone. But where this light is hitting his microphone, it's directly back from the other light behind him. So it looks like this orange light from the wall is casting a light directly down onto his microphone. I thought that was funny. The chat room was super nice, though. Everybody, like, we've been going there for over a year, so folks know what's in there. I don't know if people go there other than when Frank's on. I personally don't, just because he covers politics and I don't care about politics. But like the folks in the chat room are nice. He's nice, so it's always fun to be in there. Like to be with folks you see once a month. And T, how about the first case of a stand-up comedian in 1977 for the radio station to battle it out with the Supreme Court over freedom of speech and win a 5-4 split decision? I remember hearing about that. And T, he pulled it in that moment, yes, that never aired. Oh. Dale said, I saw Carlin live back in the day. 7 dirty words you can't say on TV days. Nice. Oh, Dragon Sage, glad you made it. That is so cool. For years, I said George Carlin for president. This is what I get for trying to get things done when the sun's in a water sign, because I got my back adjusted on Wednesday. We had a good time, even though it was a long day. So I thought Thursday, cool. I might be a little bit sore, but I need to get back to work. I need to start taking my notes for Dark Shadows. Even though I did it once, I got to do it again on my yellow paper so I can see it when I'm live. I usually get up at 9. I've only got energy for an hour and a half. I wish I could just get up at, say, 4 p.m. and just do, like the show and then go to bed, but you can't, so I've got no business getting up at all, but I do get up at 9 a.m. And at 9:02, I didn't have the fan on. It was cool enough that I'm sick of the constant noise. That's it. So if it's not fireworks or motherfuckers outside, it's some kind of fan on all of the time. I cannot take it. I'm stressed out enough as it is. So I go to click the fan on. Again, it's 9:02. I wake up. I set my pills out the night before because I don't want to think about it. One less thing to think about in the morning helps. So I sit up, take my pills with some water, reach for the fan. It couldn't have been later than 9:02. My fingers get on the knob to turn it. Boom! The same boom I hear anytime the power goes out. And I look over at my clock, and it was fucking off. And it just off, not fucking off, just doing something else. It was just dead. I said, I fucking knew it, because Wednesday when I went out, everything was fine. But I go to come back home, and my road is closed off. There's only one other way to get to my house, and it's more dangerous. And the last time they were fucking with that part of the road, they knocked out the water for 2 days. And then so I was waiting for the water to be out. No, instead the power goes out. Great. Here we go. And you don't even try to tell me it was an accident, because an accident and the power goes out, it's 1:35. It's during a storm. It's not 9:02 in the morning. I know what happened. Literally, they took their tag, punched in, set the tag down, and then shut off the power. So I called them up, ETA back on at noon, of course. I had a feeling it would be 2, but they said noon at the time. They give a year, which is bad. The guys come out here, they mess around with the box. They had to keep coming out here and looking, and coming out here and looking, and coming out here and looking, and talking about it, and talking about other times that they fucked up on their job. Like, can you stop being a woman about it? Stop talking about it. Fix it, and then talk about it, Buster. So finally, like then there's beeping. They had to pull the whole fucking truck back here and the stabilizers and lift up the box and put it back down and just plug it back in. So 1:45, finally get the power back up. Like, my laptop had not been charged yet. I don't charge the laptop after I go to the chiropractor, so that I'm getting slapped in the face for it. Got no rest. You can't just rest when the power's out, because there's something in me think, well, maybe there's other stuff I can get done around, like take out the trash, just clean up just little things like that stuff. So couldn't even relax. Dragon Sage Nice said, I'm at the hotel laundromat washing work clothes. Already had my dinner. This whole hotel is great. Free laundry. Hell yeah. John Rogers, 9 p.m. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. I want to go to bed at 9 p.m. so bad, but I hate waking up the next day and having to deal with life. And I'd force myself to stay up till midnight or later. All I want to do is sleep. I've been so tired today. 8 a.m. I was ready to go back to bed. Should not even have been up. Been up since 6:30 for no reason. So no power. And then I'm thinking, okay, what do like, worst case scenario, do I have to go to McDonald's and sit on their Wi-Fi just to go to the show? Like, it's fine if I miss, Grace still plays upload. It's not like he's doing live shows. I can always watch it after the fact. What's up, Stow Soup? Glad you made it. Shout out to Stow Soup. Stow Stew. I can't talk. He super chatted in between shows. Safe travels. Yeah, if my ride can get me to get time off of work, I'll be at the meetup. That's what was happening on Wednesday night and Thursday night at the show. Folks have just been going off in the chat room. They really want me to go to the meetup, and they're super excited to have me there. And I'm like, yeah, you should, because you're not going to have fun if I'm not there. Because Frank had already sent me a message talking about, well, he sent me a paragraph that I couldn't understand, but then he cleared it up on the Thursday or Friday show, saying like my tickets, paid for. I just have to get myself there. John Rogers said, I can't wait 1 month. I'll be in Missouri. Oh, cool. Stove Soup, yeah, the world roll line and you'll make it. It is fate. It's gotta be. That's what all this is done. Like, it just kept coming up on the Wednesday show, and then it kept coming up on the Thursday show. I've got YouTube lets you set up your account to get notifications for membership videos, but you never get a notification for a membership video. So why do they have that option? Damn it, that pisses me off. Oh, Kelly, glad you made it. She said, I heard that, Nikki, that you're going. So exciting. Yeah, it's just that I can't see. So while I do have a car and I do, theoretically have the, cash to, pay for, like gas in a hotel, I just don't know how long my eyes would last for. I don't know if I'll drive one day and not be able to see the next day. And just the extra frustration that goes along with the depression. You just can't handle like new things. So if I do travel with somebody, it's going to have to be with somebody I trust. But I just don't know their work schedule or anything. They don't say have a traditional job in the sense that I don't. They're not a YouTuber. They just don't have like say a regular 9 to 5, but they have to travel for work. I just don't know if they'll have to be traveling then or if they can reschedule it. But they want to go to the meetup too. Um, uh, yeah, so that's why I've got I'm sort of like pushing the super chat thing a little bit more because while I do think I could pay for like gas and I'm pretty sure now when I went to the Netherlands, I'm in Ohio, NT. If you look up Cedar Point, the amusement park, it's like 5 minutes. It's right there. So, Subia, understood. We hope for the best. No pressure. I know. It's just like this needs to happen because there's not going to be a next time. When I went to the Netherlands, I was there for a week. But before that, I was in the States and I had to have a rental car at a hotel for about 4 days. It costs more to get a rental car for 4 days in the United States than a week in the Netherlands. It costs more for a hotel in the United States for 4 days than for a week in the Netherlands. Even if you consider, because euros are worth a little bit more than USD, even if you take that into consideration. And consider the fact if you rent a car in the Netherlands, they did put $1,000 hold on my credit card in case I got into an accident or something. But once I returned it, they took that hold back off. So it's not like I lost that money. Um, so I'm pretty sure all of my money is going to go to gas and a hotel. So I won't be able to eat. So I would like to be able to eat because I'll basically be working 2 nights in a row for 6 hours apiece. I could go on no food, but I don't want to put myself through that because I'm never going to see those people again. I kind of want to be at my best. Um, both nights. Erica, the Netherlands is the best. I want to go back so bad. They drive just like me. My complaint is that it's too clean. There's trash cans everywhere. There's no trash. The air is so clean. Everybody like the most overweight. Honestly, I saw one obese person, but they were like of a certain color. Like people are not huge over there. Like you see old people on bikes everywhere. Bikes are in control. You have to remember your whatever you got your driver's license. Like all of that had to come back to me real quick while I was waiting for the plane because bikes rule the road. They have the right of way. It's set up for that. Remember, mind your P's and Q's. But it's fine. It's fine. I love it. Most people speak English because people have to learn English in school. So if you go to McDonald's, you can order in English. Um, very accommodating to foreigners. I can't wait to go back. Kelly said I want to come so bad, but I'm just too far. Yeah, it's because Frank did mention airports to fly into and things like that, but I understand with like money or people have work or I don't like say school started back up, so if you gotta be there for the little ones. Yeah, and yeah, Ohio. If you take Route 2, it goes right across the very top of the state. That goes through like Toledo, Sandusky, Cleveland, and then you just take you can get on like 80/90 in Elyria. That's the turnpike. Kelly said, "I really hope it works out for you, Nikki. You deserve it so much." Yeah, I've been around the longest, and I think like I've met Franklies, and I'm happy for it. But I feel like I've met like the fewest amount of Franklies versus how much time I've been there. Kelly said, "Yes, and when you turn it in, the car ends up costing more than they originally said. So messed up how expensive it is to, like, they didn't charge me any extra. It was, like they want you to make sure it's, like have it as, full, like gasoline wise as you can before you take it back. Like gas was expensive. You buy it by the liter over there, and you see the price, and I'm like, oh, cool. It's like 120 something for a liter. That's not bad. And then you start thinking, okay, we need like 3 liters equals a gallon. So it's actually kind of price. That was honestly like the priciest thing. Everything else, other food, other stuff I bought was very reasonably priced. Honestly, it was the gas. It was just like a bit much. But the roads are so nice. You don't get like the lumpy bullshit. Everything is painted well. Everything along the side of the roads is beautifully manicured. They take care of that place. If you do see graffiti, it's in English. Very tasteful graffiti. And you can still if you can still watch TV, like they still have American shows. I was watching South Park. I put on the Dutch subtitles just cause. NT, I only had clients in upper area of Ohio, so I'm familiar with that part. Not so much the bottom part. Yeah, I don't know nothing about the bottom part of Ohio. The farthest south I've been is Columbus, and that was 20 years ago. So who knows what they do there. Yeah, so Thursday, I think it was just the fact that I was just not on the internet doing anything for so many hours. I got in the chat room. I was ready to go. I was answering everything. And yeah, my phone was charged up, and I do have a phone plan. Like I did watch a little bit of Grace Still Plays just to get the day started out. But I wasn't going to sit there and run down my phone battery. Worst case scenario, I would have had to go to the show on my phone. I didn't want to get into that stress. And a good thing I'm not used to. Good thing I wasn't planning on eating anything around, say, like 1 or 2 o'clock. Good thing I wasn't going to like nuke some bacon. I didn't have that fucking plan. Good thing I'm not used to eating until 5:30. This is why I don't eat breakfast, because if I was planning on eating breakfast, I couldn't have made nothing because there was no electricity. John Rogers, no flying for me. I'd fly. Uh, oh, I thought I heard rain. I've got my passport. Dale said, I wish I could go to the meetup, but my husband is very ill, so no trips this year. He had Hep C, and that progressed to liver cancer. Oh, hope that wasn't TMI. Too much. Hope that wasn't TMI. No, yeah, you can tell us. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, I definitely stay home. Stove Stube. I know the man's name. I don't know why I'm stuttering through it. Cup of coffee coming your way. Enjoy a meal on me. If by any chance you make it to New York, just say no pressure. Yeah. I think what would end up happening is I would have to like get in, because I couldn't be driving in and then that night go to like the first get together. I'd be way too exhausted. So I would have to get there one night, rest. Like the next day would be the 5th. Do that. And then the third day, like the 6th, do that, then sleep, and then start heading home. The only trouble is that I do realize I'm going to have to be, like I'll still go to, quite frankly, say at the Wednesday and Thursday show, but I'll be, on the road in a hotel, which is fine. But that would end up being me not doing a show that Friday or Saturday because I'll be at the event, and you'll have to forgive me for that because I've always done a show when Frank is off. That will be the only time I don't do a show and Frank doesn't do a show. But I honestly have a good reason to not be in front of my equipment because I'll be meeting Franklies and I'll still be working. So that's it. Why did everything fall? Nothing froze, did it? Stop doing that, gravity. Because everything's sticky. Everything's just sticky for something. John Rogers, that would be cool. Yeah, I gotta pace myself. Because I know what I'll be doing. Like all that time in between, I'll just have to eat. and then I'll just be lying down. That's it. I'm not gonna go sightseeing. Like, what's there to see? I can't be wrecking my eyes looking around outside at stuff when I have to go to meet Franklin's at 6 p.m. There's no way. So it's not like, as much as I know Thick Rick is over in Long Island, and there's people in the boroughs and all that kind of stuff. I can't see. I can't see where that stuff is. I'm too tired. I'm tired right now. I won't. I won't. I just can't. Unless people want to come to me, because I just can't not see to do that, and that breaks my heart. Friggin' hate myself for that. But I can't change it, so I can only get so mad about it. Kelly said, I only eat once or twice a day now. I feel so much better eating this way. If I get hungry before the meal, I drink a glass of water with some Celtic salt and lemon juice. It works. Yeah, I found that if I have like other drinks, I'll tend not to eat. So if I make like tea or something like that, or if I do make coffee, I'll be more likely to like sip on that than to have a snack or something. Stove Soup said, anyways, coffee is already sent on the YouTube. Anyways, another step closer. Huh? Yeah. And he said, gotta leave, but young Carlin out. When you're done, that is. Haha. Oh, thank you. Oh. Oh, oh my God, thank you. Now it shows up. Oh my God, yeah. This is from one from Dandy. It says here's a few bucks for a burger. LOL. Oh my God, thank you. And Stove says, as well as safe travels. Enjoy a huge cup of coffee. Oh my God, thank you so much. You guys are the best. Yeah, I guess what I'm doing, I'm every everything I'm getting for like the super chats that I've got set up. Let me just keep all that together, and then a worst, not worst case scenario, but I'll bundle it all up. I think it makes me buy me a coffee and put it onto Stripe, which I gotta set that up, I think, and then I don't even know what that is. Hang on just a second. I hope no one saw anything. Sweating now. Kelly said, maybe you need some of those AI glasses. I'm not sure if they help with driving, though. No, I don't need Satan on my face. It's like I wake up and my eyes are tired, and they'll stay that way all day. If I don't have the lighting just right, if it's too bright, if it's too dark, if I have too much sugar, if I get stressed out. Bill Cooper says, sit with King all night, Nikki. Folks will come to you. I was kind of hoping he gets Leonardo to come. That way King 40 doesn't hang around me all night. But no, no, there's worse people to have hanging around you. He'd be interesting to talk to. I really only the most I've spoken to King is what you've seen on this show. I like to drive. I love to drive, but my eyes are just so fucked up from my last job. Yeah, this is what it was. John Harold. Uh, uh, um, Badlands Media. Something. That guy. He was the one that show me what you got with this friggin' get swifty, head. Like his face could not have been bigger up in the camera. He was like that priest dude, but he had a really good camera. It was better than Frank's. We could see the guy really well. And then one of the girls in the chat room was talking about how he was cute, and then like he started out the show talking about like having 50-50 custody of his kids. So it was like, hey, he's basically single. And then he was saying how he's got like a 7 and a 5-year-old, but The fact that the man doesn't have a big YouTube channel, those kids just kind of think they're losers. So, like, damn, Dad, where's your play button? And he just doesn't know how to explain it to them. So it's like, wow, your kid's just over there thinking you suck. Like, damn, Dad, get a real job. Kelly said, I did what you said and turned my AI off on my phone. Yeah, that AI is evil. You don't need that. It just, what that, not even lowrider art, like cheap lowrider art. It'll be weird at the meetup because nobody knows what people what we look like. Are we going to have name tags? Are we how are we going to know? I'm just going to have to start remembering faces and just, like, who are you? Don't touch me yet. Oh, okay. Like, let me see. It's going to be a lot of this. Like, hold on. Like, prove who you are. Like, go to your YouTube. Like, go to your own page and like QR code, say, who are you? Where do I know you from? What chat room do you go to? Kelly, yeah, name tags with your handle name, but like at and screen name, because otherwise we're not gonna know. But I know Frank's not gonna make people do that, so it's just gonna be like, why are you excited to see me? Like it'll be so odd, just like walking into a room. It'll be like when you go into a chat room and everybody has different handles there because they don't know to use the same handle everywhere. So it's like, I know you people, but I don't know who you are from which, like, it'll be weird at first, then you get to meet everybody and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Especially since if the first meetup, the one for the VIPs, is at the Studio A, I've been there before. I want to walk on those floors so bad. I can hear that sound in my head right now. I really just want to meet Pyretta. Folks are saying True Detective season 1 and 2 are good. I've been hearing that for years from all of you guys, so I guess True Detective is something I should check out. Yeah, that's when Frank was saying extra pilled, stuff on pilled stuff starting in August. Yeah, you can email pilled about the animations. That's when, let me, gonna, since I've got to do that. So I'll email them about the animations. And yeah, that's when Frank was saying that my ticket's covered. I just got to get myself there. And some girl called in, was talking about just how hard you've got to grind at YouTube to make it do something for you. And it is like that. The more time you can spend on it, the more time you can devote to creating content, which will get you more, views and engagement and stuff like that. So it's I wish I was able to do more with it. I think that's why the channel's stagnating. But it depends what kind of content you put out. Some people start out like these Minecraft YouTubers. Minecraft's a big deal. Like I could start playing Minecraft right now and get views. So it's a popular thing. So of course those channels blow up fast. Gaming channels blow up bigger. A lot of channels have a shtick or a gimmick or an edge or a thing to them. They don't really just start off um, because you watch one show, you watch a secondary show. It's just different, but the more you can put into it and be consistent with your uploads and things like that, the more you'll see come back to you as far as YouTube goes. And I think we just mentioned Jim Lee that night. I don't think he didn't call in 2 nights in a row. Maybe weather modification came up, or somebody was a fan of Jim Lee, or maybe the guest knew who that was. I'm like, yeah, Jim Lee, me modify your weather wrong time. But that reminded me, I couldn't think of the date. I don't know why I can't remember this. I can't remember anything, but I used to know this. I think I'm right about this. My first concert was, that was July 14th of 2010. I don't even know how long ago that was. Let's see. This was it was a DVD. You can look it up on YouTube right now. Lady Gaga, The Monster Ball. So this was before like two albums had come out. We were up to the Fame Monster. There was no Born This Way did not exist yet. We did not have Hair. We did not have The Edge of Glory. We had Bad Romance. This is what I learned. I'm never gonna go to a concert when the sun's on a water sign again. I don't do things when the sun's on a water sign just because I'll have a bad time. Going to the concert was not fun. I worked that day. I shouldn't have worked that day, but I worked that day, and then my friend rented a car so we wouldn't have to drive. But the problems began when I saw that the driver was a woman. I was like, oh no. Because what I wanted to do is to take my CD player, plug it in, tape, so we could listen to Lady Gaga in the car on the way up there. So, like, and the woman was so fucking stupid. She kept fucking with the volume and touching things that didn't have anything to do with anything. And I wanted to kill her. Had not even gotten out of town yet. So finally I just said, fuck it. So we drove all the way up to Cleveland in fucking silence. But we get up there, middle of July. 75% of the concert goers are dressed like Gaga from different videos, from different styles. Everybody, like I was just wearing a shirt. Some people are dressed normal. Other people like they've done up the whole thing. Like you're basically wearing a bathing suit with a bow in your hair to a concert, and you've got some glitter on you. More power to you, girl. It looked like Halloween in Cleveland in the middle of summer. It was the wildest thing. I've never seen anything, adults dressed up like this. So, like, some people, okay, maybe that could be just a big child. Like, no, these are full ass adults running around. Some of them doing it better than the others. It was the greatest thing. There was an intermission. That's the one when she closed with Bad Romance. It was incredible. I'll never forget that. And again, it's online to this day. I didn't have a phone at the time. I've looked for videos of people who were like filming in such a way where they would have like shot where I was sitting. It was too dark up there. I was wearing black. You can't. Well, what were phones like in 2010? It's not going to be that clear. But the videos exist. If you look up Lady Gaga in Cleveland 2010, I was at that concert. We were on the side of the stage, but I didn't realize we were on the side where we were going to see her walk up and down the steps. And so like she was right there, and I'm like, oh my God, look at her ass. And this was before he had to say no homo. So we like every time she like went up and down the stage, we got to like see her like a second before everybody else. And that's the one where, like, remember that orbit dress that, like, moved around her? It's in the Bad Romance video, like that. And then we got a couple of beers, and then I didn't realize I'm walking out. I'm like, dude, my head hurts. And my friend's like, yeah, me too. Draft beer will do that to you. I was like, ugh. Drove home in silence. That sucked. But the concert was amazing. That was great. Couldn't have gotten high beforehand, unfortunately. That's okay. Daddy said my first concert was the Toledo Speedway Jam with Heart around 1979. Dragon Stage, my first concert was also in 79 Prism. Dale said my first concert 1972 Chicago. I assume that like you saw Chicago in Chicago? John Rogers, my first concert was the Beach Boys. Nice. And then I told myself since I had to go to that concert sober, I would never watch it sober. So, like, when I got the DVD, and if I ever watched it after the fact, I always make sure I was high. What's up, Moon Bunny? Glad you made it. And then in 2014, I went to the art rave. No intermission. I think I like the first concert more. Maybe it's because it was my first concert. I'm not saying Art Rave is bad. It did have a like the where I told you about the two like it opening acts were not good. It was still it was fun, and that one was in May. That's why I went to that. Again, I'm not going to doing anything. That's why I like when Frank's doing his get together. The sun's not a water sign, so I can go to it. It's like a month before New Year's Day. I could travel around a holiday, but it's not really near any of my holidays. So that was Thursday. Oh, we owe you Bill Cooper. My first concert was Billy Idol. Nice. And like, yeah, Madonna has come around here. I think she was in Columbus once, but I'm not traveling that far south. And then, I don't know, ever since 2020, I'm not in a hurry to be around. Well, because for a long time, I thought you had to, like, show people a little, pass card to get into places, and I'm not going to be around all you sickos with your suicide cards. I don't know if they still do that to get into concerts, but unfortunately, what do I say? Like, yeah, Gaga does tour, but she does like these very limit. Like, instead of going to like 60 cities, she goes to I don't know, like 10 or 15. Like, she can't be bothered to perform her own songs. So even if she was like, if she was doing Mayhem in Cleveland, I wouldn't go because back in 2010 and 2014, every song she put out was good, if not very good, if not a fucking banger. And ever since then, she just has way too many skippable songs. It's like, oh, it's the Check Your Phone song. It's Blade of Grass. It's Shadow of a Man. So no, I'm not gonna, and I'm never gonna look at a set list before I go to a concert. Because why would you want to ruin the suspense and the surprise? Oh my god, they played my song! So I wouldn't do that to myself, and I'm not gonna go there. That's like, what? How much am I paying for? Like how many of these songs that I hate am I paying to sit through? How many? Like how many times do I get to check my phone during this concert? Like, oh god, here and it's a fucking medley and a tweet. So no, if I could go to a concert and be guaranteed all the songs would be good, yeah, but you can't do that with Gaga anymore. So I'm not gonna pay for skippable songs. Moon Bunny said first concert was REO Speedwagon. Gay. Jen Ryder said a Moon Bunny must have been the High Infidelity tour. Oh. Yeah, if you can go to a concert by a band you like, do it. I don't know. Like I've never been able to go to a lot of concerts. Really can't now, but if you can go, definitely go. Sloan Bone, glad you made it. It feels like that's the only time I've been in something I could consider church. I've never been around so many people into the same thing at the same time. Like the only thing that can come close to it now is a chat room. Like you can get hundreds of people there, like just in an arena. We're all fans of the same thing. We're here to have a good time. Good vibes. John Riders, that album was so overplayed. The REO Speedwagon one. Yeah, Matt McCant was on the Friday show. He had like the logo on his the logo for his business he's got covered up. It almost looks like they're not a paid sponsor for the channel. He doesn't want people harassing him. That's a legitimate business. Don't bother the man at his job. When Buddy said, I don't remember, John. My friend asked me to go. I didn't even know who they were. Want to go to a concert? Sure. Who's playing? But he's got his beard trimmed, so like way in the back. It's not that it's fading out, it's just he's got gray back there. Stove Soup, have a great Saturday. Yeah, thank you, Stove Soup. He's just got the gray in the back. He's not dyeing that out, so it looks like it fades out. It's just it's gray back in the back, but it's super short. I mean, it's hot out. I can't blame him for that. Sloan Bone says you're one of my favorite rock stars, Nikki. Much love, fam. Yep, you're the best. Sloan Bone's awesome. Oh, but yeah, Sal looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. I don't know how tall that actor is, so like maybe just like a foot shorter. But like that could be his brother. I don't know if they're related, but like I don't know if they're the same sign or anything. But like he made me think of the Mountain. Um, Gregor Clegane. Pardon. He's the one that calls Sal Slaps. Doesn't come up too often, but that's him. Because when he was on, this was years ago, more than 5 years ago. This is a very long time. Okay, Slumbone, back at you. He was talking about how, like, he had a wife and a daughter. I assume he still does, but he was never like he, but it's like not a drunk. He didn't mind having a drink, but he never wanted to be drunk around his daughter because he didn't want her to see him that way. But then at the same breath, he was talking about how he would, his wife is not American. She does not, English is not her first language. But he was talking about how he would slap his wife's ass so hard, she would swear at him in her native language. And he thought that was cute. So I'm thinking, okay, you don't want your daughter to see you drunk. You don't want her to see you like that. But domestic violence is okay. He said it. I'm just pointing it out. Okay, so that's where it's at. And then just then on the show, he said he eats dick. So I'm like, well, okay, I don't know. This guy does a little bit of everything. He like for the big muscles, you would think you'd be like a jerk or like mean or something like that. But then he has like this like Gemini kind of laugh. So it's very. If you don't know him, you might think he was gay. I don't know, man. You better tell people your sign to explain that laugh away because like all those like I know for a fact I've dealt with people who've got like the big muscles and they look like big, intimidating, scary guys, and they're the biggest vaginas on the planet. So like I know like you've got all that muscle, but I do know like sometimes that doesn't mean anything. So Sunbone, I love the band Rush. Only able to see them 8 times in their 50-year career. Oh, only 8 times? Damn. A good Gaga concert to go to would have been the Born This Way ball, but that's when she fucked up her hip, so I don't even know if she came here around here for that one. I don't know, man. Maybe the first 20 minutes of the show was fun. And then Frank brought out another guest who had his window open, so it was just white on the side of the screen. Couldn't see anything, had to put my hat on so I couldn't see Matt. Why couldn't they put Matt down at the bottom or put Matt over here so I could see him? No, I couldn't see any fucking thing. I had to put my hat on. So there I am, pissed off, listening to this guy speak in the exact same tone and smiling for the. No. Boring as fuck. Stuck backstage in 1986, Dragon Sage is saying, Grace Under Pressure tour. Dandy said the muscle guys who speak and a purse falls out of their mouths, lol. Like I don't know a sign or anything, but that's a Gemini laugh right there. It seems like his sense of humor. It doesn't take very much to get that man cracking the fuck up. He really does come off like the type, like like you're not a bad person if you laugh easily. But I've been around this type of person before where like I'm not even trying, like 0% trying, just basically talking, And the other person, like I was working with this girl, she was laughing so hard I had to take her customers because she could not stand up to do her job. And I'm thinking, I'm not even trying. He seems like that. He seems like if you get him just right, you can just get that man giggling and there's no stop to it. So it's good. He's a happy guy. John Rogers, I like the band Rush, but can't stand the lead singer. Oh, Sloan Bone, R.I.P. Neil Peart. I don't know if I got this right. I'm gonna say it. I don't know if any part of this is right, but something about like Matt's great grandma had his grandfather when she was 15. I know it was, times were different then. Something like that. How can you remember back that far? I don't even have grandparents, dude. Dragon Sage, a buddy of mine golfs with Alex. Dill, I saw Rush in 1975, $3 concert at small local theater in Northampton, Pennsylvania. $3! Like $50 for nosebleed seats at the Gaga concert was fine by me. You can still see. I still had fun. Now, Frank does something called, he's never brought this up before. It must be something he just does in his personal life. And he had to say it a few times. I thought I heard him wrong. Steak, fuck. Steak like the food, fuck as in for unlawful carnal knowledge. Um, that just sounds like a waste of food. No, don't waste steak like that. When they say beat your meat, that's not what they, you know what, never mind. Dale said I also saw Kiss at the same theater. Oh, cool. Sal said something at the very end of the show, and I'm kind of mad about it. And I'm not confrontational, but it's something I would want to bring up to him, what like kindly in person, because what the actual fuck? He said something about because Frank mentioned that he's only live, like he's been taking every other Friday off. We already know that. But then Sal said something about how that's I forget exactly what he said, but I wrote down fewer shows, good for the fan base. Fuck you, Sal. How are fewer shows good for the fan base? Back that up or take it back. He doesn't seem like somebody who's so stupid to just be saying words just to say them. So seriously, back it up or take it back because there's no gray area with that. How is it good to see your friends less? That would be like me telling you seeing your wife and your newborn child, seeing them less is better. That's how stupid it sounds. So how is fewer shows for Frank good for all of his fans? Because he doesn't know I do shows. He's not going to watch this. So seriously, how is less of a good thing good for the people supporting the show? Make that make sense or take it back. And I already call him Sal Slaps. I didn't have a high opinion to begin with, and then he said that after the time Friday. Don't watch the Friday show. Honestly, don't watch the Friday show. Why was Matt there? Because if you get more than one other person in the room, they're going to be talking more than Matt because he's a cat. So we don't get to hear him. We couldn't see him because dude had his window open the whole time. So why was he even there? Why was anybody there? And then they have no jokes and are showing these gross fucking videos. So when people do go to the meetup, they're thinking about hooves being cut open. Did anybody think about that? Did anybody think that when they see Sal, the meat guy, at the meetup, they're going to think about the show he was on with the feet getting cut open? And I'm just saying it. I'm not showing it because I'm not disgusting. Now, I've got a bad memory. I could forget something like that in 2 months, but I'm the only person with a memory this bad. I'm willing to bet half of the people who watch that show, who are going to the event, will remember that. Do you want people thinking about that when they're trying to eat steak? I don't think anybody thought about how any of those elements were going to come together to make a good show. If you do go back and watch it, watch up until the fourth guest comes on, skip all of that, and then watch the rest, because that's when we had fun in the chat room. We were having a great time in the chat room. We had jokes, we had fun. It was amazing. It wasn't gross or nothing. And we were so lucky to get a full week, because the last 2 weeks I've been on Fridays. Moon Bunny, when screens were brought in, it made the concert experience better because you could see. I like that. At first I'm thinking, oh, that camera's in the way. But wait, people farther back can actually see because there's two giant screens, so they can, like, thank you. Sunbone, Nikki, you're funny AF, in my opinion. I can't listen to Frank when you're talking shit in the chat. Oh, you got to pay attention to both. John Rogers, I saw Kiss in 2009, Kiss Alive 35, when the Sonic Boom album came out. Unfortunately, Buck Cherry was better. Oh! Danny said he might know since Mom Frank comes to the chat here. Danny said, oh Lord, the hooves. I was on the balcony then. Like not only, like, I was having to mute it at some point. Rio Bill Cooper, Keck, Nikki. Yeah, it's just because it's at a certain point, if your voice has no inflection and no up and down, like you're not hitting different notes, you don't really want to listen to a song that's all one note unless it's like a remix or like house music. You don't want to listen to somebody talk if every single sound they make is the same tone, the same note. And that's the way that guy talks. My tinnitus can't take that, so mute and then hat on. So I just had like a little bit of a corner here, maybe like Sal's elbow, so I can like catch up with so I know when to unmute it, because I want to hear the other three people in the room talk, even though Matt really wasn't talking. And those Petey Face songs, that Pyretta Blaze and I'm a Bird, those are hot. That's what we had in 2015 to listen to. Maybe, I don't know, maybe have some stuff in there about like the benefits of like steak and healthy eating, and not the gross stuff, if you're going to have the guy there who's going to bring the food. So I was thinking, I'm running on the assumption that I'm going to the meetup, and as much as all I was thinking was frankly some food. Like it's great Frank's going to have entertainment there. I'm sure he's good at organizing that kind of thing, but I'm honestly just thinking about meeting Franklies and having food, because I don't get to have those things. Until last night, I'm totally put off a steak now, because what am I going to do? Get there and think about hooves? Or if not that, who's all invited? You know who's all invited to that so far? I haven't even said the people who are going to be there. That, pardon me, I've got dry skin on my lips. I haven't mentioned anybody who's going to be there who I don't care to see, guest wise. And if I don't care to mention them, I certainly don't want to eat around them. I don't want to hear their voices when I'm eating. I like privacy when I'm eating. I'm kind of thinking like, can I get this and go eat in the car? I don't want to be like stared at. This is not a spectator sport. Dragon Sage Nikki is effing hilarious. Oh, thank you. Moon Bunny, that part was rough for me. The steak hoof combo, and I remember that for later. Yeah, if I have the best chance of forgetting about that, but other people won't. And then like somebody else will remember or will mention it, and then there it goes. John Rogers said, Chris paid $139 a ticket for that concert. Whoa, that's a lot. Dragon Sage, I've seen Pink Floyd, Van Halen, Peter Gabriel, Beck, Buddy Guy, and a bunch more. Beck seems like he'd put on a good show. Moon Buddy, most of my concerts were in Detroit Rock City. Sloan Bones says to Dragon Sage, dude, that's awesome. I'd like to shake your hand just so I could say I know someone who knows Alex. Well, small world. After this, Frank is going live on Rumble only. So I'm going to be in the chat room for his Twitch. The link to that is in the description of the show. And I do have the super chats opened up on the off chance I do get to go to the meetup. I think I got gas and hotel money, but like on the wild chance I do want to eat those days when I'm out, that's basically what that's going to go to. I'm not going to be doing other, like, I'll be resting and meeting Franklies and resting and meeting Franklies. That's it. There's no sightseeing, there's no extras I'll be doing while I'm in New York. Moon Bunny said you want to go to the Frank meetup, right? Yeah, I have to go to it. I just have to go with somebody who can drive me, so I have to wait to see if they can get time off of work. Like Frank said, he's paid for my ticket. I just have to, get myself there. He doesn't have money to, fly everybody in and all that, put everybody up in hotels and whatnot. Because there won't be a next time. And I'm just running on the assumption that I will get to go. I mean, I'm planning for either way. What was I gonna say about that? Going to the meetup, food. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, if I'm too grossed out to eat steak, and I really wanted fucking steak, I'm still upset about that. I'll have to get my own food, so I'll be eating at like 4:30 somewhere, and then just going for the entire rest of the night, which is fine. That's kind of what I do when I do my own live shows, except I don't have to stand up. So I won't get to eat there. So I'll have to eat somewhere else. But the main point is that I'll be up there. That's the main thing, that I get up there and that I get to meet Franklies and that I get through the whole night. Sloan Bone, I actually talked to David Coverdale on the phone once upon a time. He was in an Atlanta radio station, 96 Rock. John Rogers, we were on the floor of the Quicken Loans Arena, 5 seats away from Paul Stanley's rotating stage. Whoa. Bill Cooper, is weed quasi-legal in New York State? I don't know. Oh, and he says, Beck has some great tunes. Yeah. Drive-by Body Pierce. I just found out, I never asked if it's legal. I guess weed is legal. That's one thing I won't be, I can't be on, high when I'm eating Frankly, so I'll be going all those, like, few days completely sober. We owe you, Bill Cooper. Yeah, the main thing is that you get there and enjoy yourself. Yeah, that's it. I'm just there to make sure I have a good time and get to spend as much time with Franklies as I can. That's it's about the people. I understand it takes a lot to organize everything, but I'm really just want to see people I've been seeing in the chat room for a decade. Because if I can't go, let's not get into that. Dragon Sage, Pink Floyd, or Sloan Bone saw Pink Floyd once, the 8th Row, and Dragon Sage Pink Floyd was amazing in '86. Moon Bunny said it'll be fun. I wish I could go. I'd swing by and pick you up. Yeah, I know, right? It'll work out. And if not, I'm already depressed, so how much worse can it be? So let's just run on the assumption that I do get to go. And if not, I'll just be doing regular shows like regular. But yeah, in the description, the Quite Frankly chat room at 9 p.m., that's where I'm going to be, since I don't use the Rumble chat room. Last I knew, Frank is just going to be live from Studio B because nobody could make it over to Studio A, just too busy or whatnot. But that's cool. He can do entertaining stuff from the house. Might just be an hour. Who knows how long he's going to go. I don't know if he's going to take calls or anything like that. We'll just have to show up and see what he's got going on. Just kicking it. And then the next week is just a full, for well, 4-day week. We'll have Monday through Thursday. And then next Friday, the 18th, I'll be on. And then also the 19th. So we get two live days next week. Almost get us out of the sun being in a water sign. And then I am free and clear for the rest of the year. Moon Bunny, I see all of the peeps here who experienced what true good times in music were. Yeah, folks in here like some good music. Sunbone, by the way, which one is Pink? Pink is the one that does Try. Won't Back Down by Eminem. She's featured on that song. That's really all I know about Pink. William Bill Cooper, bed check. I might catch you later in Frank's Twitch chat. Nikki. Good night, everyone. Yeah, good night, Bill Cooper. Smash the like button on the way out. Don't forget your pants. You're going to need those, quite frankly, in a half an hour. And I'm glad you guys had an extra couple of hours on a Saturday. Dragon Sage, it's already been 5 years since the good old days. Yeah. It has been a lifetime. So yeah, stay cool, stay hydrated, have some steak. If you watch the Friday show, just skip the middle of it. Check out the Monday show. That was great. Yeah, have a great night, everyone. So take it easy. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay frankly, stay based. Apparently, there are still tickets available for the September 6th event. Last I checked, those are $150. It's $150 for 6 hours. So, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 hours of entertainment, divided by $150. Plus, you get steak if you can forget about the Friday show. And there's a bar. Can't guarantee who all's going to be there. But yeah, I love seeing you guys. I will see you guys again. Maybe see some of you again in right about a half an hour. So I love you. Thanks for giving me a platform. Get this out of the way. There we go. Until... Oh, Sloan Bone. Oh, that's a line from Pink Floyd tune. Oh, okay. Oh, you're awesome, Nikki. Sloan Bone says, thank you. Yeah, take it easy, everyone. See you in a little bit. Until next time.